Hey guys, this is Melissa Zad, and I'm delighted to be joined by none other than Johnny Nelson and Spencer Oliver just behind.
You know what? I feel so tall. It's nice. I've never had this before.
I thought it was a goddamn wasp.
Yeah, but you held it down well though. To be fair.
How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you. Good.
Really good. I'm like a solid 9 out of 10.
I'm a 10-10.
Wow.
10-10. I know.
Yeah,
just one of those days.
I never go 10 because I always think there's room for improvement.
Now I wait for someone else to tell me there's more. No, you're a 10.
Solid competition here, lads. You know, really getting into the spirit of fight night. Really stacked card tomorrow night. What do you make of it?
I'm looking forward to it's actually against Brown. That's going to be a good fight. Might still fight in the night. Shannon Ryan, love that young lady. I think she's going to be a star of the future. And of course, the main bill.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to all the fights. Really, obviously Richard Riakporhe, because what's on the line for Richard and Turchi. You know, it's an eliminator for the IBF title, but actually, I see Richard going down the WBC route and getting Makabu, who's cracking on a little bit now, and the timing could be right. And I think the boxer are in talks with Makabu's team, so a lot on the line for Riakporhe. He could be a world title shot if he comes through this one, but a potential banana skin because Turchi is a solid fighter. He's a come forward solid fighter. Common opponent they both got is Tommy McCarthy. Turchi lost to McCarthy on a split, and Riakporhe blew McCarthy away. But you can't read too much into that, can you?
Yeah. Obviously, Riakporhe's got that power. That power will always seem through. Turchi being a southpaw, you know, if you've got power in both hands, southpaws are made for you. You'll clip him straight away with that right hand lead, but you've got to be confident when you let that right hand lead go. So we'll wait and see.
You know what? It's a really stacked division, the cruiserweight division, and it feels like it's just getting more and more exciting. And it's quite an interesting division because over the last couple of years, you know, we're hearing so much more about it. Riakporhe, when I was speaking to him yesterday, was saying that he's loving the fact that his name's in the mix now. He's feeling really relevant. What do you see his journey looking like in the next few years?
He's getting consistency, so that's most important. You know, to be a fighter, Spencer, we're talking earlier on, can you imagine when you're fighting, you know you're fighting month after month after month. What more can a young man ask for? You've got no time to go astray. You just want to train and fight and get paid. So Rich is in a great position because each time he's getting one step closer to that summit. Most fighters, their aim is to get that summit. You know, his needs to be past that. His needs to be about unifying, making defences. And so as long as that hunger and that habit stays a habit, he'll be all right.
Let's talk a little bit, and I'll come to you for this one. Obviously, Robert Garcia is in the mix now. Yeah. AJ's new acquisition around Riakporhe quite a lot. How do you think that's going to impact, firstly, Riakporhe, but more importantly, AJ in the run-up to the rematch with Usyk?
I think it's going to be good for AJ because he needs that confidence, and having that confidence of someone like Robert Garcia in the corner who's been in with numerous fighters, numerous champions, and developed numerous champions. So that'll give AJ the confidence he needs because he'll know that Robert can add something to Anthony Joshua. One thing I'm going to throw out there, though, and I don't think no one's really touched on this either, is Robert Garcia has been great with lighter fighters. He's developed brilliant fighters. He's worked with a lot of top guys. I think this is the first heavyweight actually that he's worked with at this sort of level. So it's going to be.
I'm gonna steal that line for Sky tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to. So it's the first heavyweight he's worked. So the reason I say this, right? This is because I've worked with heavyweights. I've trained fighters before, and I've trained heavyweights, and I've trained the smaller guys, and the training routine is something totally different. Johnny, you'll respect that because you're a bigger guy, and so you've worked. You know what Brendan was like working with Sayyid Nazim Hamid and with you. So what I'm saying is that is a massive thing, a big thing, because
not many trainers are good at making that transition.
No, it's not. It's not as simple as it sounds. If you're a great trainer, you're a great trainer. Like, so I train little guys really good because I know the tempo of the fight, etc, etc, etc. So I don't think no one's really touched on that Robert Garcia is a great trainer, but he's not trained a heavyweight.
True, spot on. I like that. I've just learned something new, but you know what, he's right. Didn't even look at that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that fight's taking place in August in Saudi Arabia. That temperature, I don't know if you guys have been to the Middle East. I'm from Iran. I know how hot it can get. It's crazy.
I went to the last one in Saudi. We both were out in the last one in Saudi, and yeah, it was phenomenally hot, but you know they're building that arena, and the Saudis are amazing at putting stuff together. Johnny, it was incredible when we was out there, wasn't it? And like so they allow for the heat. They know how to build arenas and keep it cool, etc., etc. So I don't think that will affect the fighters too much. If it was outdoors, then I think it may be different. You know, like when AJ boxed, actually, when he boxed Andy Ruiz Jr. the second time, when it was outdoors, you know what they had problems with when we went out there? Do you know what the problems was with? Hailstones. Yeah. Hailstones. There was hailstones.
We were sat there with plastic covers.
Had plastic things on, and we were covered. People can't believe this. And it was the first time in I don't know how long was it, because like the Saudis like a desert. There was, I'm not going to swear, but there was hailstones coming down like rocks.
No.
That's the truth. That's what I'm saying. So that wasn't the problem. The problem was keeping dry. That was a problem, and not getting your eye taken out by hailstone. But that was a problem.
A lot of people read into that whole thing of it actually got quite cool out there at night. It was really hot in the day, and at night, because you're like in the desert, aren't you? But we had hailstones, man. Hailstones, and we were sitting around ringside with plastic.
I think I've got a picture of you and Darren Barker, actually. You look like two condoms. You had like you did, because they had these plastic things covering them. So look, it was funny.
That's absolutely brilliant. Guys, what do you think AJ needs to do differently to beat Usyk in the rematch? And do you think that he will?
He needs to find the rawness. It's plain and simple. There's nothing else he can do technically. He can't technically try and outthink one of the best and smartest boxers in the world. AJ has to do what he does best, what took him to a world heavyweight title. Box with his heart on his sleeve, take the gamble, roll the dice, be raw, use strength, speed, power, and he can win the fight. And I think if he does that, he's got a shot.
That's a resounding. That's what everybody's saying, and that's what you've got to do. Don't be too smart and outsmart yourself and then be three smart. He's got to jump on him. He needs that raw ruggedness. He's got the experience. He knows what he can and can't get away with. He needs that. It makes you unpredictable, makes you dangerous. It makes it very hard for your opponents. You box to the best of your ability. Don't try and box to the best of his ability, which he did last time.
Yes, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I'm worried about Spencer Oliver's back breaking here, bending over.
No, that's fine. I'm enjoying the hype, man. I'm like, this doesn't ever happen. I mean, I don't think I've done an interview before where I've been the man with the hype. So, yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to tomorrow night.
Nice one, thank you.
Cheers.